Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Golden Falls Golden. What if, whatever you want to call me. And I'm back. Finally back with What If Deku Had a Video Game Quirk Part 3. And yeah, sorry for the delay on this. I mean, if y'all watched my, I don't know if it was my most recent video or the one before that, I talk about how I want to clean up. I'm trying to clean up and finish up some of these series. So that's what I had to do beforehand. I finished up 2 series. So now we're here for part 3 of this What If, which honestly might be a little shorter than what y'all want. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. But actually, one more thing. I'm gonna be starting a new series very soon, very soon. Probably the next video will be the start of a new series, because that's what I kind of like doing. For the people that want to see the Shield Hero series, I promise I'm gonna get that out, and it's probably gonna be a finale where I'm just gonna do the rest of the series. Just be patient with me. I get it, but there wasn't enough interest in that series off the rip, in the very beginning, to basically for me to commit to it immediately. So but yeah, I promise I'm gonna be finishing that series. But yeah, we'll be having more Demon Slayer, more Rising the Shield Hero stuff in the future. But yeah, I think now that's about it. But if you enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, we're just gonna get right into the what if. Let's get it. Bakugo and Hina charge at each other as fast as possible. Hina kicks Bakugo in the stomach, but he grabs her kick, following up with a right hook. She rolls back and begins to shoot pressure through the air, which causes Bakugo to basically get launched. But he stays in bounds using his explosions. Hina gets in a stance and Midoriya looks at her, basically seeing exactly what she's gonna do. Wow, she's going to beat him with martial arts. The class looks at Midoriya and asks him what is he talking about. He explains that he personally knows every martial art on the planet, and she is his girlfriend, so don't you think he would teach her at least some things? They look back at the fight thinking that it's crazy that she can be even stronger because of just some martial arts. Yeah, maybe you all should look into doing more hand-to-hand combat. They watch as Hina dodges a right hook from Bakugo, and she grabs him from the back and begins to suplex him. She then grabs his arm out the air, and they both end up on the ground. He tries to shoot an explosion through the arm and hand that she is holding, but she slightly dodges it and kicks him in the head using the heel of her foot, knocking him out cold. Yagi is the winner. The crowd goes crazy, saying how amazing they both fight and how insane it was. The next fight is Izuku Midoriya versus Hina Yagi. Midoriya heads out to the stage with his headphones around his neck and stands across from Hina. She screams, basically saying to not go easy on her, and he promises, well, he won't. The fight begins and Midoriya puts on his headphones. He slowly walks toward Hina and she puts her guard up. She begins to think about what could his plan even be. He stands in front of her and flicks her on the forehead. She punches with 20% of One for All and seemingly strikes him, but he poofs into a log and is behind her. She tries to punch him, but he dodges and his hair turns white once again. She backs up and Midoriya tries to charge after her, but then abruptly stops. Midoriya begins to scream in pain, and a black-like aura comes out of his body, and his body feels like it's ripping apart. What the hell? What is this from? Ultra Instinct? He continues to scream, and his body seemingly begins to go into shock after the use of the power. Hizu, are you okay? Midoriya looks up and tells her to back up and to stay away. Ultra Instinct made his power go wild. Electricity began flowing from the stadium into his body, and every power he has begins to just come out. I can't stop it. Midoriya looks up toward the booth and sees Aizawa. He screams his name and Aizawa activates his quirk, and the power subsides and all his powers go back into his body. The crowd begins to say what just happened, and that he shouldn't be fighting anymore, that this fight's over, he's too badly hurt. Midoriya then slowly begins to stand up. Izu, just stay down. Who cares about the fight? I'm sorry, I can't show you everything I have, Hina. But I don't really know what happened, to be honest. Midoriya's body is tattered up, and Midnight asks if he can truly continue. Hina is about to tell her no, but then Midoriya cuts her off, saying yes, he can. Izu, what are you doing? I'm giving you the fight. I can't break my promise. She gets mad, saying screw that he needs to go to Recovery Girl. A golden apple then appears in his hand, and he eats it, and tells her that, see, now he's fine. Hina shakes her head, and tells him that his stubbornness will make him lose. She charges in, and Midoriya is feeling better, but nowhere near 100%. Realizing that he can't even use his quirk just in case, because it may go haywire again, and maybe this time it might even destroy the whole area. So he decides to strictly use martial arts. He dodges out of the way of her attack and kicks her in the leg, and he continues to try and maintain the reach length, like the perfect distance between him and Hina. He kicks her leg once again, and when she steps back on it, it feels weaker. How are you doing that? Midoriya tells her that he knows every martial art, so he knows the human body pretty well. And he also knows exactly where to kick, and even without his quirk, he can still put up a decent fight. Hina decides to keep her distance and begins launching pressurized air at Midoriya, forcing him to dodge and try to close the distance. When Midoriya gets close and their fists collide, this white aura erupts once again, but then goes away instantly. He looks at his hand and begins thinking that this is the first time his body has adapted to a power. So what if that's what's happening now? He begins to think that maybe this Ultra Instinct power is some sort of power that's not supposed to be used by a mortal or by a normal human. So maybe that's why his body's reacting in that way. But now his body's actually adapting to said power. Midoriya charges in once again and begins fighting, and he can feel that he actually got stronger than before. But obviously before he had mild super strength, but something happened now that his body adjusted from a close death experience and made him even stronger. Midoriya, even with this, doesn't feel comfortable even using his quirk in the situation. So he just decides to raise his hand and talks. I forfeit. This fight will keep going until I make a mistake, and frankly, in my current state, I'm just destined to lose this fight. Midnight decides to call the match off in favor of Hina, and Midoriya walks up to her apologizing, but saying that she helped him learn something very important about his quirk, so it wasn't a complete loss. She tells him that she wanted him to forfeit anyways because she was worried, and that for now she will take this win. Bakugo, Midoriya, and Hina get their medals from All Might, and the sports festival concludes. Midoriya begins to head home, but Aizawa stops him, asking what happened. Midoriya explains that the power he used has some repercussions, and that he didn't think about it at the time, and that's probably what's happening to him, and that's probably what happened to his power. No, I know that, kid. But you said you couldn't win, but I could tell you were getting better as you fought. Midoriya scratches the back of his head. Well, you're kinda right, but honestly I was more worried about hurting someone because of, another surge of power like that. Because if my power got, out of control again, it might have completely torn down the stadium. Aizawa shakes his head and tells him, he did good anyways, so go home now. Midoriya heads home, and his mom is waiting. Hey, Mom. Don't mom me. You almost died. No, I didn't, Mom, but trust me, I was just as scared as you. Inko shakes her head and hugs him, saying to be more careful next time, and that he almost hurt her future daughter-in-law. Midoriya shakes his head and rolls his eyes, and he goes to bed. The next day, he arrives at UA, and Aizawa begins to explain that these are the numbers for the highest, offers for all the students. Hina, Midoriya, and Bakugo actually got the highest, as well as Todoroki. Aizawa hands out sheets with the names of the people that offered them, and Midoriya looks for the name he wanted to go. Wow, a man of your word, I see. Hina asks what is he talking about, and he tells her that he got Endeavor to offer him. Todoroki hears this, asking if that's why he did what he did in the sports festival, and Midoriya tells him that he was going to do that anyways, and he basically just got something free out of Endeavor. Todoroki laughs, saying that was a pretty good idea. So, Hina, where are you going? Well, my dad wants me to go to Gran Torino, his old master. Oh, that sounds like fun. Yeah, I hope so, but he's pretty scared. I mean, Gran Torino is supposedly really scary. Aizawa tells the class to be quiet and that they will be choosing their hero names, and since he isn't very good at that Midnight will be helping. She enters the class and tells them all to write their names or potential hero names on a whiteboard. Hina decides basically to just go with her normal name as her hero name, and Midoriya really can't decide what his name should be until the very end of class. Wait, I got it, Miss Midnight. He comes up and shows his board. The gamer hero, hacker. Everyone looks at him, asking if he actually does hack, and that's kind of lame if he does. Of course not, but I mean I could if I really wanted to. Honestly, if I wanted to, I could really just hack anything. I can hack your phones right now. They all look in shock, and Midnight says that she likes it and tells him to sit down. The class is over, and Midoriya and Shoto the next day meet up, and a car picks them up and takes them to Endeavor's agency. Midoriya texts Hina, saying that if she needs anything, he can always be there in an instant. She tells him thanks, but hopefully nothing bad happens. When they arrive, Endeavor greets them, but makes it apparent that he does not care about Midoriya. Yeah, I know, Endeavor, but I can still learn from watching. Endeavor says that he will be training with Shoto at least, so he can have that. For the next couple days, they both spar, and Endeavor makes Midoriya teach Shoto hand-to-hand combat after seeing what he did basically to Hina without even using a quirk. Midoriya does so, and he doesn't even mind doing it. Like, he feels that Shoto is his friend, so, I mean, it was on the agenda anyways. At the end of their training, Endeavor tells them to follow him and that they're going hunting for the hero killer at Hosu City. They all jump in the car, and when they arrive, the city is practically on fire and Midoriya's phone buzzes like crazy. Shoto, look at this. Izuku, is that Hina? She must be in trouble. Yeah, I have to go. Shoto tells him that he's coming too, and tells Endeavor to send backup at the location he sent to his phone. Midoriya teleports to them, and Midoriya kicks Stain away, just as he was about to stab Ida. Izu! Hina, are you okay? She explains that his quirk paralyzes you if he licks your blood, and Midoriya nods and drops a Pokeball out of his hand. Jolteon, Thunder Wave. Stain gets hit with the attack and can barely move. Enough, hero killer, we're bringing you in. Dumb kid. I've dealt with stronger attacks than these. He basically begins pushing through the paralysis and jumps at them. Shoto covers him in ice, and Stain is stuck against the wall once again. Damn kids, how are you able to do this? Midori looks at him saying that he isn't here to play games. That when you hurt his friends, and especially his girlfriend, he doesn't deserve a chance to fight. Midoriya dashes at the frozen and, well, basically paralyzed hero killer and knocks him out using a pressure point. Wow, that was pretty impressive, Midoriya. Thanks, Shoto, but we need to get your dad over here. Endeavor arrives and takes the hero killer away, but as he does this, Stain reawakens and somehow pushes through the paralysis, slicing at Endeavor and paralyzing him, and he basically sprints off, sort of limping. Damn it, he got away? Ida looks in shock, but Midoriya tells him to not even think about it. That like basically if he gets caught, that he will get caught, and the next time he does something stupid like that, don't expect so much help. Ida bows and apologizes to him. You shouldn't be apologizing to me. You should be apologizing to her. He does so and apologizes to Hina, and Endeavor finally breaks free of the paralysis. And when they leave, the news of Stain's escape is all over. Well, the news. But thankfully, nobody was hurt. The UA students are forced back to school because of the situation, and school starts up again 3 days later. Okay, listen up, problem children. We have a final exam very soon, so you need to start studying. On top of that, if you don't pass, you will not get invited to the Forest Training Lodge. We go on, well, during your break. Now get to studying. Aizawa falls asleep, and Midoriya, well, continues to play games. Hina walks up to him, telling him he needs to study. No, I'll be fine, don't worry so much. She slightly hits him on the head and tells her that he tells her that his eyes and ears allow him to soak in all information and store it and never forget it. And he basically explains it as, in simple terms, as just a side effect of having powers from the smartest characters he knows from different video games. She tells him that his powers are just unfair, and well, he agrees. After a couple of days, everyone takes their exams, and they are told to meet at the gym. Okay, problem children. For your practical, you'll be fighting in pairs against teachers, and well, here are the matches. Aizawa says them all, but left out Hina and Midoriya. Don't worry, I didn't forget you two, but you will be facing... I am here, and I will be your opponent. All Might comes basically flying in from the sky. Both Hina and Midoriya get excited, and excluding Bakugo, everyone looks at them like, well, they're insane. The rest of the matches go normally, and Bakugo is, well, placed on a different team this time around, but ain't no teacher gonna stop Bakugo, let's be honest. But now it's time for All Might versus Hina and Midoriya. They begin to head toward All Might, and Midoriya tells Hina that he has a plan. He drops a Master Ball, and a Pokemon comes out, but nothing that actually looks familiar to Hina. Well, what is that? Just a secret weapon that I've been working on. Now it's time to show All Might what we can do. And that is the end of part 3 of What If Deku Had a Video Game Quirk. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. And also make sure to comment down below any suggestions for future what ifs. And if you watched to this point, I want everybody that, if you know Pokemon, you like Pokemon, this Pokemon that's about to come out right now in this what if is gonna be a legendary. But I want all of you to choose, and whoever has the most likes, or I see it, well, the most comments or something like that, I will choose that Pokemon for the quote-unquote secret weapon. So drop it down in the comments. But obviously if I don't see enough of a certain Pokemon, or it's tied, I'll just pick the one I like the most. But yeah, legendary Pokemon, go ahead in the comments. And yeah, that's about it. I hope y'all enjoyed, and everyone have an amazing day. Later.
I don't wanna waste what's left, and